We turn now to retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Greg Edgreen. Greg ran the military investigation into Havana syndrome and has now founded Advanced Echelon. That's an organization that aims to take care of Havana syndrome survivors and their families. So it's good to see you. Since 60 Minutes, I know you appeared there, and we watched that, pinning this on the Russians. There have been even more developments. I'll put up an AP article about a defense official had Havana syndrome symptoms during a summit. NATO summit, they say, in Lithuania. So the hits keep on coming on this. But let me focus on Russia, if I can, with you, Greg, and how we know, or how you think you know, it's Russia rather than China or somebody else. Why?
Yeah, thanks for having us here. This is an important issue for all of national security and the American people. I base this off of my experience. I've worked abroad in 8 countries and 3 embassies. I'm normally not a headquarters person. But something very early on stuck out to me, and this was happening to our best men and women. They were being returned with traumatic brain injury. And at some point in my investigations, I would see that there was a Russian nexus. So it all became clear that we needed to take care of our people immediately. That's across the Department of Defense, Special Operations community, and the intelligence community. And then we needed to fight back. So the important thing to know is this is like Wounded Warrior Part 2. These people live, work, and fight in the shadows for American interests. They're being attacked.
Right.
A foreign adversary is likely involved. We need to start fighting back. But most importantly, in this warfare, these new battle lines being drawn, the families are being hit as well.
Well, what about that fighting back part? Is it happening? Because if it's not, maybe that speaks to the fact of why people, other than you and now and some others, weren't talking about it. Is the thinking that there's nothing we can do about it? What's happening?
There's plenty we can do about it, Connell. We're the United States government. We have a host of tools at our disposal. And it's time to take action because the problem is going to get worse. But first and foremost, we need to take care of our people. You can reach out to Advanced Echelon and see how we're doing that. We need new funding, and we need to allocate existing congressional funding to get the care they need, especially within the Department of Defense.
Do you know how to do that, by the way, or do the doctors know what they're dealing with here with the people that you're working with now?
Once they get into the care system and they're seen at Nichole and Walter Reed, yes. The problem is there's no central clearinghouse for this. Another problem is that as the Havana Act is written, it doesn't cover active duty personnel. Okay. We always talk about Department of State and intelligence officers. We're forgetting about the Department of Defense. Something needs to be done here.
Okay, can I go? I just wanted to go back to what's being done, right? So that's what you were. United States, we could do something, but it seems like you're saying we're not. So why wouldn't we want to fight back here? What's going on?
Look, this is a multi-administration issue. It's not partisan. It's not political. It's existed over several administrations. What we need to do is start hitting back in the shadows. We have the tools to do so. I can't go into those details on your show, but Congress knows them and the United States government knows them. If we don't hit back, it's going to grow. It's going to grow with the Chinese, the Iranians, and the North Koreans. This is great power competition. We're being attacked.
So we have similar tools. I mean, you probably, again, a lot of this is probably classified, right? But we have similar tools. It sounds like you're hinting at, but we're reluctant to use them. Is that, or is that not what you're saying?
I won't talk to what the government's doing based on what the classification levels are, or if even anything is happening. But regardless of who done it, we have an obligation, don't we, to the people that were attacked and injured.
You would think. I mean, there's some people, I mean, just serious stuff. If anybody watched what was on 60 Minutes or here's what you're talking about, I mean, just dealing with a lot, terrible headaches and much, much more in their brains and traumatic injuries. Thank you, Greg, for coming on. We'll continue to follow this.
Thank you,
Havana
Connell.
syndrome is a big mystery, but now some of this mystery, maybe we're finally getting some answers. Quick. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.